Problem with Sarfaraz or between Sarfaraz and Rajat Patidar. See, the numbers are stacked up in favor of Sarfaraz. Okay, there is no doubt about it. Rajat may be slightly more senior. I think he is, right. I'm not very sure.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
might,
yeah.
but what he might have played what 10 odd first class matches more than Sarfaraz. उसी उतना ही फर्क होगा ना उससे ज्यादा क्या
हाँ,
फर्क
ज़्यादा फ़र्क नहीं है, ज़्यादा फ़र्क
yeah,
नहीं है।
but I would like to believe the numbers, the average, everything would majorly. I'm not so much into numbers, especially at the first class level. But my guess is, if I'm right, Sarfraz's numbers would be way ahead of Rajat in terms of first class batting. So by virtue of somebody
Hmm.
who's like kind of put in the hard yards, kind of I would obviously go with Sarfraz. Middle order, in the absence of KL, I think there's no choice. We're not choosers anymore, so you will have to kind of inject some kind of flexibility there. And I think Sarfraz is very good, considering if you want him to make his debut, he'll be more than happy to kind of flex wherever you want him to. So yeah, two adequate replacements among the names that have come in, I
Hmm.
see, are Sarfraz and Washington. Although that lure of wanting to play Kuldeep, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much India will be able to resist it. Um, I don't see a place for Kuldeep.
Oh, okay. Jamie, a lot many
I come
people
back
were
to that,
talking about
that
Sarfaraz Khan.
expression of yours.
Huh?
I come back to you with that for that expression of yours.
Yeah,
Why I
I was.
said it.
I'm just shocked. I'm shocked by what you have said. But
The
anyway, let's
reason
go ahead.
being that what with the kind of pace that he has, correct me if I'm wrong, I mean, like, if y'all have a different view, the kind of pace that he has in the air, okay, purely for that, I'm trying to understand what kind of turn will he be able to get on wickets like those. Okay, that's one. Let me
Hmm.
complete it and then I'll leave it to you.
No, that's fine.
What kind of turn, and from what I what saw of England, one of the things that I noticed on this batting lineup is the one ammunition that you must carry with you at all times is precision, and which is what we still have with Aksar, kind of those darts that he can throw, and then kind of use turn to your benefit. I don't know that lack of pace in case of Kuldeep is going to be much useful. That's number one. And two is batting. Yeah. Like, I just want some depth in the batting,
Hmm.
Okay,
Okay.
especially
so
with
Well,
KL.
Chetan, I'll come to you. No, I'll come to you, and we'll talk about Kuldeep in detail. First, let's hear from Jamie and Sahil as well. Jamie, we all know, a lot of people were talking about Sarfaraz before the start of the test series, and when the squad was announced for the first two tests, and he wasn't there, everybody was questioning the team management that why he's not involved in the team, and now when he's involved in the team, do you think he'll get a place in the 11 for the second test?
No. And my answer is linked to just what Srini and Chetan were going on about. In my book, you play Washington Sundar and you play Kuldeep Yadav. Very straightforward to me.
Okay.
I don't need Patidar. I don't need Sarfaraz Khan. I need Kuldeep. Washington Sundar in 4 matches has got 2 ducks, but he's got 85 not out and 96 not out. His batting, yes, he's not that skilled, but he's offering you more than Shubman Gill and Iyer are going to offer right now. You need Kuldeep, and like I always say, whenever Jadeja goes out, he gets replaced by 2 guys. जब भी इसको चोट लगी है, it has thrown India's 11 totally out of whack. And unfortunately, now with KL Rahul, India are in a real hole. Two massive players, KL Rahul based on the 86 that he played. Yes, I agree with Chetan. The shot was not the best. Perhaps it was on, but in that innings before Jadeja, he looked the most likely of getting 100. The second player who looked likely to get 100, Jadeja. These two guys gone. It's not a simple thing. When Hardik Pandyas and Jadejas go out, you cannot just look at bringing in one batsman and one bowler. You need an all-rounder. Washington Sundar, his batting is going to be very, very crucial in these series because the top six is going to flounder. He's a lefty, he brings you confidence, and then Kuldeep's skill is just too, in my book, it's just impossible to keep out. Hats off to Patidar for being here. Hats off to Sarfaraz. You don't need to bolster your batting right now. You need all rounders in Washington Sundar and Kuldeep's bowling. You need him.
Okay. own choices, and they have their own opinion about who should be in the 11 for the second test. Now you have tracked these three players, especially the two of them, Sarfaraz and Saurabh, in the domestic cricket as well. Going by those records and going by that form of these two players, what do you think? Do they deserve a place in the 11, or you'll go by the same standards as what Jamie and Srini mentioned, that bring in Washington Sundar and there's no place for Sarfaraz for now?
No, I personally feel that bringing in Washington will be a ride on the adventurous route, because I don't see this management at least taking that route. So they'll stick to
Okay.
the specialist route, and I feel Rajat Patidar is your best bet right now for the number 4 position. Not because of the runs he has stacked up in the first class circuit, but the clutch knocks which he has played for Madhya Pradesh over the years, on tough tracks, right from his debut in 2015 against Baroda. It was a turning square track, and he scored 100 in the second innings. So from those days, 9 years ago, he had shown signs that he's a clutch player who could score those difficult runs on difficult surfaces. Then, if you just move back a little, that IPL 100 in the qualifiers, the only uncapped player to score 100 there. I'm not saying to compare two different formats, but just the mentality which he brings to the table, and what he did for Madhya Pradesh when they won the Ranji Trophy, the amount of difficult runs he has scored over the years. He averages 45. His first class tally is 4,000, close to Sarfaraz Khan. But I think the difficult runs which he has accumulated over the years, and the latest being against the England Lions, where he single-handedly scored that big 100 when the
Yep.
others struggled. And I think that 100, after that 100, he was called up to the Test squad. And the next game, Sarfaraz scored a similar 100, 150 against England Lions, and that
Yeah.
probably pushed सरफराज केस. अदरवाइज अगर वो रणजी ट्रॉफी में रन करता रहता, और जब तक वो इंडिया ए के लिए परफॉर्मेंस नहीं आता, तो सरफराज को भी वेटिंग गेम खेलना पड़ता, जो अभी तक चल रहा है लास्ट 2 सीजन से. सो आई थिंक गोइंग बाय दोस थिंग्स एंड द वे दिस टीम is going to be formed for the second test, I personally feel that कि वॉशिंगटन के ऊपर बैटिंग वाइज इतना रिलाय नहीं करने वाले. उसके लिए 4 पे तो someone specialist has to do that job, and for me it's Rajat Patidar right now ahead of Sarfaraz Khan, because we know this management follows that Q culture. They don't take the
Okay.
adventurous route. They follow that Q culture. Rajat Patidar is going to be at 4. Shuman is going to play our next game. If he fails in the next game, Rajat moves at 3, and Sarfaraz probably comes at 4 if KL and Virat are still unavailable for the third test. That is how I look at things right now. And when it comes to the toss-up for the third spinner, I agree with Jamie and Chetan, and slightly disagree with Srini on that front, because I feel Kuldeep, is definitely required. And having two left-arm spinners in the similar mold, we saw how it backfired, and how Oli Pope kind of countered that threat by just sweeping and reverse sweeping. And with a wrist spinner coming into play, those sweeps are not going to be that well connected for sure if the ball is turning square in Vizag. So I feel Kuldeep should get a nod ahead of Saurabh Kumar and Washington Sundar for now for that third spinner job. But batting depth is something which they must address, and they should be looking to address now that both Jadeja and KL Rahul are gone. So they are like two proper batters are gone out of your 11.